Welcome back to Tech Talks from Commercial Baking. I'm your host, Joni Spencer. In this episode, sponsored by AMF Bakery Systems, I am speaking with AMF President Brandon Brilliant about what is happening at the new Puratos Industrial Pilot Bakery powered by AMF. Hi, Brandon. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, Joni, I'm happy to be here. Appreciate the opportunity.
So I am really excited to talk about this pilot bakery. This is something that's really unique to the industry, I think, especially with two different supplier companies coming together to create this pilot bakery for the sake of innovation in the industry. But I want to start with more of a broader picture and really talk about sort of the state of speed to market because it's changing in the industry just between consumers' access to information influencing their food choices to the rapidly changing regulatory landscape. Can you just sort of paint a picture for me with what's happening when it comes to bakers' need to innovate quickly?
Sure, and I think you're absolutely right, Joni. I think we've all seen the rate of change in consumer demand accelerate, especially in the last 5 years. There is more information available to consumers than ever before. You can see that in particular with the rise in popularity of the food scoring, mobile apps that people are using in retail stores. We're also seeing legislative pressure through things like the MAHA initiative. So things are changing. As consumer expectations continue to evolve, our customers are being asked to innovate faster. They're being asked to execute more efficiently and ultimately do more with fewer resources than ever before. That is the entire reason the pilot bakery exists, and we're bringing resources together between AMF and Puratos that are going to enable our customers to put product development into high gear.
There's a lot of noise out there that these bakers have to sift through. And with that, they're also just constantly looking for the next big thing when it comes to their product development. So the Puratos Industrial Pilot Bakery powered by AMF, this is a space that's intended to support that need regardless of the speed. Can you explain to me how this partnership, this collaboration came together to create this pilot bakery?
Yeah, so we actually began this journey over 3 years ago. I think there was a shared recognition between AMF and Puratos that our common customers in the baking industry needed better support for product development, testing, training, and just white space innovation. So while AMF and Puratos were already independently exploring ways to meet those demands, we realized an even more powerful way to help was going to be by combining forces. So with Puratos bringing industry-leading ingredient formulation capabilities, and then AMF bringing best-in-class equipment and the integrated automation experience to the table, we're able to address those problems holistically. Through discussions over 3 years, we recognize there's a real strong shared value set between the organizations. There's some complementary strengths and just a real high level of passion for baking. We've both got a focus on customers first, and we knew that was going to translate well into a powerful collaboration.
So, I was just actually visiting with a bakery. Their team had just been up to the pilot bakery and they used a word that I thought was really interesting and very telling. They described it as really going beyond a supplier relationship and looking at it as a partnership. And when I think about partnership between ingredient suppliers and equipment suppliers in the past, product development focused on the formulation and then it focused on the production. How are you seeing this collaboration sort of change how bakers are going at their product development in an environment like this pilot bakery?
Well, that's a great question. With Puratos ingredient expertise on site, we can customize ingredient formulations and then immediately validate the production of those product recipes on AMF equipment. So we're providing our customers a direct path for scalability for new products without the need for the additional trial and error exercises that are kind of customary that were happening in their own facilities. So this is the ideal placeholder between lab-based R&D research and true production scale manufacturing. We're showing real paths with real ingredient formulations that are going to be successful at scale.
So, are you seeing an impact in both areas, speed to market and true product development? Because I feel like these are two separate things that are happening simultaneously in the industry because of those changes that we just talked about with access to information and regulatory changes happening so quickly. Is this like what kind of support is it lending to innovating quickly, but also authentically?
Ultimately, the entire purpose of this facility and our team's efforts there are just to provide a smoother path to success for our customers. So, providing access to Purado's consumer research as well as the capabilities of their sensory team means that we're developing new products that consumers actually want and that consumers actually like, and there's validation for that. The ability to develop those products and then immediately turn around and fine tune the production process on AMF equipment all under one roof. What that does is it allows bakers to go from an idea or a concept to a production ready product in a single visit. And they're going to have a high level of confidence that that product's going to be successful in the market.
Okay, so that kind of makes me wonder about ROI. Am I off base in assuming that this immediacy in testing and knowing that it's going to be successful? I just feel like when you think about things like downtime in the bakery to do that testing or being able to accelerate the innovation cycles, is there an ROI to product development that maybe wasn't there before?
Well, absolutely. I mean, obviously, speed and ROI are hinged closely together, but the advantage of this partnership is that you're no longer dependent on line time in your own facility. You no longer have to break in and interrupt production in your home facility. You can do this in a white space environment. You can do it with ingredient expertise, equipment expertise, and professional bakers that are going to guarantee that we have a true path to success. So you're avoiding any of the workforce limitations that may occur trying to do this on your own in your own facility. And again, with the sensory teams, the Taste of Tomorrow research, and the capabilities that our two companies are bringing together, it's just condensing the path to having a viable product in the market.
So, one thing that we haven't talked about is where the Puratos Industrial Pilot Bakery, powered by AMF, is located. It's in Pensacola, New Jersey, at the Puratos headquarters, correct?
It is. So close proximity to Philadelphia Airport. It's at their headquarter facility in Pensacola.
Okay, so can you describe what collaboration looks like when bakers come up to Pensacola? How do AMF customers take advantage of the process for this collaboration?
Right. So again, this is a holistic approach between our two businesses, and we are providing baking expertise from a formulation perspective and from an equipment and process perspective. So AMF and Puratos together communicate regularly through a steering committee. We're constantly reviewing the equipment offering on the floor, resource needs and allocations for upcoming customer visits, and how we're going to address that most effectively. But through the product expertise on both of our teams, we are able to rapidly speed up the process from an idea to a market viable product.
Okay, so how can bakers take the first step to get the ball rolling?
So if bakers are interested in booking some time at the facility, they can obviously reach out to sales@amfbakery.com via email. They can reach out directly to their account manager. They can visit our website at amfbakery.com. We have information on the pilot bakery in our bakery solutions portion of the website. And then lastly, you can also visit our YouTube channel. We've got a sneak peek preview video available on the YouTube channel that's going to give you a little bit of a peek behind the curtain at some of the exciting capabilities of the facility in Ipuratos.
Well, Brandon, thank you so much for taking time to talk to me and really kind of dive into what's happening up there. I know that it's already getting a lot of attention and a lot of bakers are curious about it. And the ones who have visited it really have great things to say. So I just appreciate you sharing with me how this collaboration is working and how it's benefiting the industry. It's really cool.
Thank you, Joni. It's really been a pleasure watching our two teams come together and support our customers in a really effective way. The capabilities of the two teams together under one roof is really impressive, and I'm happy to be a part of it.